There are a few minutes each morning, just before the house stirs, before the phone lights up, before the kettle, the news, the first demands of the day. A few minutes when everything is still, when the world is between one day and the next, when the mind has not yet filled itself with everything it has to carry. We reach for the phone. We start planning. We carry yesterday into today, before today has even properly begun. He called them a gift. Not because mornings are easy, not because waking up is painless, but because in those first still moments, before the day has claimed you, you have a choice about how you begin. Not a long meditation, not a complicated ritual. 7 minutes, 7 steps, each one grounded in something the Buddha taught, each one designed to fit into the quiet before your day begins. By the end of this video, you will have everything you need. You can do this tomorrow morning, in your chair, in your bed, at your kitchen table, before the kettle, before the phone, before anything else. Let's begin. Here is something worth knowing about the mind. In the first hour after waking, the mind is in a particular state. The barriers we build during the day, the busyness, the noise, the constant processing, are not yet fully in place. The mind is more open, more receptive, more easily shaped by what we choose to put into it. This is why the morning is so powerful. It is not magic. It is not mystical. It is simply the window of the day when what we choose to do has the deepest and longest effect. The Buddhist monasteries have known this for centuries. Before anything else, before food, before work, before teaching, the monks sit. Not because they have to, because they have learned what happens to the quality of a day when it begins from stillness rather than from noise. The Buddha taught something he called Brahma Viharas, the 4 divine abodes: loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity. These are not feelings you wait to have. They are qualities you cultivate, deliberately, gently, consistently. And morning, the Buddha taught, is the best time to water these seeds. The 7-step ritual I am about to share is not mine. It is drawn from 3 elements the Buddha returned to again and again. Sati, mindfulness, which begins with the breath. Metta, loving kindness, which begins with yourself. Katannuta, gratitude, which begins with what is already here. 7 minutes. 3 foundations. 1 morning. Let's begin the ritual. Before the 7 minutes start, do one thing. Put the phone face down. Or better yet, leave it in another room. These 7 minutes are yours. They belong to no one else. They answer to no one else. The world will still be there in 7 minutes. It will wait. You have just come from sleep, from somewhere between waking and dreaming, and the day has not yet started. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to do anything yet. You are simply here. Hold for just a moment and release slowly, completely, letting everything go with the breath. Now, again. Breath in. Hold. And out. One more time. In. Hold. And out. That is step 1. You don't need to move. You don't need to fix anything. Simply notice, how does the body feel this morning? Is there tightness somewhere? Let it be there. Is there tiredness? Let it be there. Is there, perhaps, a surprising lightness? Let that be there, too. You are not trying to change anything. You are simply acknowledging the body that carried you through the night and brought you to this morning. Not all of it, just a little, enough to feel slightly more settled than 1 minute ago. That is step 2. Not a plan, not a goal, not a to-do list. An intention. One quality you would like to carry through the day. One way of being that you are choosing before the day chooses for you. Perhaps it is. Say it to yourself quietly. Say it again. Let it land. It is simply a compass point, a direction, not a destination. When the day pulls you away from it, you can return. That possibility of return is what makes the intention valuable. That is step 3. And we begin with the person who is most often forgotten in this kind of practice. I know some of you may find this uncomfortable. It feels self-indulgent, or unearned, or simply odd. We were taught to give kindness outward, not inward. But the Buddha was specific about this. He said, "You cannot give what you do not have." Metta that flows outward must first have somewhere to come from. So gently, without pressure, place one hand on your heart and say these words to yourself, silently, if you prefer. Say them slowly. Don't rush past them. If they feel strange, that strangeness is worth noticing. It may point toward exactly where the practice is needed most. That is step 4. Think of someone you love. Someone whose face comes naturally to mind when you think of the word love. Hold them in your mind and offer them the same words. Now, and this is where it deepens. Think of someone you see regularly, but don't know well. A neighbor, someone in the shop, a face you pass on your morning walk. Offer them the same words. You don't need to know them. You don't need to feel warmth yet. The offering itself is the practice. The warmth follows. That is step 5. But not the gratitude we perform. Not the list of blessings we rattle off because we feel we should. Honest gratitude. The kind that finds something real, something that is actually here, actually present, actually worth noticing. I'm going to invite you to find 3 things. Not grand things, not extraordinary things. 3 ordinary things that are true right now. That it is breathing, that your hands work, that you can feel warmth. Find one true thing. A person, a home, a simple routine that anchors you. Find one true thing. The light through the window, the quiet before the day, the fact that you are here, practicing, beginning with intention. Find one true thing. 3 things, all true, all already here. That is step 6. Not a sentence, not a teaching. One word. A word that gathers everything you have done in these 7 minutes and distills it into something you can carry. Perhaps it is. Whatever word comes, let it come. Say it once, silently. Let it settle. This is your word for today. When the day becomes difficult, and it may, you can return to this word. It will remind you of who you were this morning before the day took over. That is step 7. The ritual is complete. Take one final breath. And when you are ready, not rushed, not pulled, open your eyes. The world is waiting. The day will begin. The phone will light up. The kettle will need to be boiled. The ordinary things will ask for you. But you are meeting them from a different place than you usually do. You have set your intention. You have offered kindness to yourself and outward. You have found 3 true things. You have chosen one word. 7 minutes. 7 small acts of deliberate presence. And now the day can begin. I want to say something honest about consistency. Some mornings you will do all 7 steps, and it will feel meaningful. Other mornings you will do 2 steps and stop. Some mornings you will forget entirely. The Buddha never taught perfection. He taught practice. And practice means you begin again, every time, without judgment. What matters is not that you do this perfectly every day. What matters is that when you return to it, after a day away or a week away, you return without ceremony. You simply sit down and begin. If 7 minutes feels too long at first, start with 3. Steps 1, 3, and 6. The breath, the intention, and the 3 true things. 3 minutes. Every morning. And as it becomes natural, as it becomes something you miss when it's gone, add the other steps. The ritual will grow into whatever space you give it. It will ask nothing more than you can offer. People often ask me, how long before I notice a difference? The honest answer is, faster than you expect. Not because the world changes. The world will remain exactly as it was. Difficult on some days, beautiful on others, ordinary on most. You will find that difficult mornings are a little less defeating. that the first hour of the day feels less like being thrown into something and more like choosing to enter it. That there is, somewhere underneath the day, a quiet thread you can return to. The monks call this the quality of a practiced life. Not a perfect life, not a painless life, a life that has a ground to it, a life that began from stillness rather than from noise. The Buddha said, "What you frequently think and ponder upon, that will become the inclination of your mind." 7 minutes each morning. 7 minutes of arriving, settling, intending, offering kindness, finding what is true. These 7 minutes become the inclination of your mind. Not a grand transformation, not an overnight change, just a steady, quiet tilting toward peace instead of away from it. And one morning, you may not even notice when, you will wake up, and the first thought that comes will not be a worry. It will be something else, something quieter, something that was always possible but needed practice to arrive. If you would like to continue this journey, I would be honored if you would subscribe to this channel. Every week, I share teachings and practices like this one, drawn from the wisdom of the Buddha, offered gently for the real texture of everyday life. The next video on this channel will explore something many of you have written to me about. What to do when the mind won't stop, when the anxious thoughts keep coming, even after you have sat, even after you have breathed, even after you have tried. The Buddha had a very specific answer. I look forward to sharing it with you. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Walk slowly. And tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the kettle, before anything else, perhaps just 7 minutes, the gift is already there, waiting in the quiet. You only have to receive it. Namo Amitabha.